Sorry if this is already on, but I'm checking to see what am I doing. Oh, wait, hold on. We're already live and I look, yep, it's live and I look stupid. And that's okay. That is okay. Because I am stupid. And I'm fine with it. Live streaming. New hold potentially inappropriate. Not now. Stream health. And there. All right. Yeah. Yep. Probably do all this before I start the live stream, but I don't. So, yeah. See. I just need the link. Copy that. Then go to Facebook. Whoa. The heck? That's really weird. Won't let me do anything. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Almost done with what I should have done before starting the live stream. And now we are ready. And I don't think I need that open. I just need this. So confused. What happened to chat? Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. I don't know why. That is so weird. Okay. Good. Man. Who knows? So I wanted to listen to what I normally listen to while I'm editing.
I'm proud of you. You know it's not easy going after your dreams.
Which is motivational kind of stuff. So I know it might be hard to hear me, and if you happen to chime in and you can't hear me, then if you can't hear me because of this speech, let me know. Otherwise, this is what I usually listen to while I'm working because it has a more... Sorry.
You're strong enough to succeed without any of that.
Was a little loud for me. But I like listening to it because it's more it's more inspiring to me than music or something along those lines. And I don't know, just I like it better. I like it better than music on some days. Some days I want music. Some days I want this stuff. So just make sure I'm not blasting the stream. Nope. Should be good. Alright. So I am working on the secondary photos for Connie and Matt's wedding. And I say secondary photos because I've already delivered basically their set of wedding day stories. So they were delivered, they got, I think it was close to 600, 5 something, between 550 and 600.
I'm blaming it on you.
They got those shortly after their wedding. But the rest, I was not able to get to. Because of everything that happened in November, plus all the other weddings, and they had already been delivered basically the best set of pictures. So I kind of left this one alone. I talked to the clients. They were super, I won't say happy to wait, but extremely patient and extremely willing to wait, considering everything that was going on. So anyway, long story short, they are fine with waiting, and now I am caught up 100% on everything else. So I am working on the second set of pictures for them, so I can get them all delivered. That would be awesome, to be 100% caught up. I gotta double check some stuff, but I think I am pretty well caught up after delivering this. And with these being the secondary kind of images, I don't have to do super detailed edits. I don't need to remove weird objects, change signs, anything like that. I can do just some basic exposure, basic edits. So that is it. That is where I'm at, and that is what we are doing this evening. Unfortunately, I think I need my second monitor in order to work right. So I'm going to try to hook my phone up. I'm gonna hook my phone up to watch the stream so I can see if anybody is chatting or if anybody pops in. Even though the only people that pop in are my kids. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let's see if I could see the comments. I want volume. You know?
Is to take a brave look at your life. Look at your life right now where it is.
So let's see. Sorry guys, this is like a test. This is a test.
What has brought you here?
Test a test.
Look at the things that took place this past year. Did you get out of it what you wanted? Did you achieve the goals?
So I want to see if it shows up on
what part of your life or what
there.
Things that you do that you don't want to be a part of your life? Are there any people as you begin to look at your life?
I would say no.
Where you want to go and what you want to do. Are there any people that might be some dead weight that you need to think about unloading?
It's in 1080 though, so that's dope.
Because what you have found through that relationship, that it's more toxic than it is nourishing, it's more debilitating than it is empowering. And so now you've got to make a decision. See, many of us...
Is there really no way to view the comments?
Because we're not taking true inventory
without like, maybe do I gotta turn it on?
Your emotional, your spiritual and intellectual development. How many books did you read? How many seminars?
Oh, there we go.
How many classes that you take
Nice, got it.
Develop yourself
All right.
professionally to improve your craft or your skill?
So there, I should be able to see this.
Just take some personal inventory. Just thinking. Beginning to know yourself.
I can see the chat.
That has influenced you right now.
Hopefully.
What's your philosophy of life?
Alrighty then. Nice. Now I can use my second monitor.
What are some of the things that you have picked
Make it easier on me. Makes it easier to go back and forth from picture to picture because I got a whole monitor to view the gallery instead of just like a tiny little this bottom row. Then I can shut that off actually, so that's good. Make them a little bigger.
She said, my sisters came up from Kentucky, and they used to be her babysitter. And she picked it up while in their presence.
Make a noise, make a noise.
What is it that you picked up somewhere in life that made it might be a liability to you? What fear, what beliefs?
The computer's going slow. I should probably restart it. It's been a while.
No longer allowing your life to work.
That's okay.
Produce the results that you want to produce in your life, and you're still clinging to them. See, as we go into a new world,
Oh,
some old
that makes sense. Let me fix that.
What are the events? What are the circumstances? What are the people that have shaped you?
Because I did go through and do some of these a long time ago.
That you need to let go.
They are
Cost you pain. That's stifling your growth and development. What are those things? As you begin to look at your
they're sharpened and noise reduced, which
begin to upgrade your skills or your knowledge to continue for you to be competitive.
which you know drags your computer down, so it makes it a little more difficult, a little longer to load up.
And ask some of these questions. What is something that you're good at?
And I don't want that yet.
Are you living your passion? Are you living your dream? What do you regard as your greatest personal achievement? What is the one thing that other people can do to make you most happy? Let's think about these things. What would you do if you had
sync
1
all
year
of
to live
these.
and guaranteed success?
Make it easier.
What would that be?
Oh gosh, that was so loud.
What would you do with your life if you had it to live over? Getting to know yourself. What is one value, one deep commitment from which you would never bulge? What is one cause that you would like
Hey, bulge or
become involved in
budge?
to make a difference on the planet? I work in the Cook County Jail in Chicago. It gives my life a great
I think he said budge.
deal of joy and fulfillment. Have you found something like that in your life that you could enjoy doing, working with people? I have a friend that's working with physically handicapped people. She said it's been the most rewarding experience she's ever had. She used to be a constantly depressed individual, always feeling sorry for herself. It has changed her life. She's a grateful person. She's found something that she's lost herself in. What is your biggest setback, failure, or defeat of the past year? What is it about you, if somebody really knew, they wouldn't get into a relationship with you? Now, don't go tell it. But once you acknowledge what that is, then start working on it and changing it. Change that. It's easy to blame the other person, but start taking ownership for where you are.
What is that? I wonder if I can remove it. Was that on all of them? That didn't help.
Have you explored your natural talents, your gifts, by enthusiastically trying a variety of activities? Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of us have so much talent.
I don't know what that was, but
we just put them back on the back burner, just left them aside
oh
someplace.
well.
Never did anything with them, never brought them out here. Used to do them extremely well in high school or college, or just had a natural gift and never did anything with it. What are you sitting on? What gifts are you sitting on? Have you resigned yourself to a life feeling that nothing can be done to change your future or your circumstances? Have you been afraid to try something different because you're afraid of how people will react to you or what they will think? Those are some of the things that I suggest that you begin to answer yourself. Now, here are some things that I suggest that you begin to look at working on to develop your character. Some things that will give you some personal strength. Webster says character building activities. He says character, the pattern of behavior or personality found in an individual or group.
This little room was really cool, but also sucked at the same time because it was super, the whole thing's like made of wood, and I shoot on auto white balance, so this thing was way out of whack. Depends on where I was aiming, the reflection of the sun coming in from the window, like, it was bad. A lot of it was orange. I don't think this one's in focus. Nope.
Just do a lot of things. One year I decided to do one thing well. I looked at all of my talents, and I decided the strongest one, my ability as a speaker.
I did go through, at some point,
but I'm capable of doing a lot of other
I went through all of these.
Only when I decided to focus. That I begin to reap the rewards.
And marked 1 star on the full set, and then went through again and marked 3 star on the ones that I really liked. So most of the work has been done. It's like now it's just a matter of going through and making sure the exposure and everything is correct. So this is what I was talking about. Like, this is super hard to get accurate skin tones in this room because the wood is super yellow and the sun was blasting in. It was like the windows faced the sunrise or the early sun, so it's difficult. Just difficult. But we got it. We're good. So a lot of these I ended up turning black and white. Just to basically say, nah, I don't want to deal with that.
Now I want you to think about 5 things that if you had the courage to do them, it will give you a feeling of satisfaction and self-respect. Think of 5 things that if you had the courage to do those things, you would feel a tremendous feeling of satisfaction within and self-respect. Take the time to write those things down, whatever they might be to you. It might be in your personal life. It might be in your friendships, your family relationships. It might be in your business. I was negotiating with a friend of mine that I admire a great deal. And this person went back on their agreement. And I did not challenge them on it. Number 1, because of my admiration for her. Number 2, because I really wanted the business, and I think she sensed that. So I didn't want to seem too picky, and I was nervous about it.
think this whole little set, because they're all super orange.
Because I should have said, listen, that's not what we
I think I'm going to turn them black and white.
But I didn't want to look bad.
Because they went down past the window, so they had zero direct sunlight from the window. It was 100% reflected light off the wood. Made everything very, very, very orange. I don't even like this picture.
Dr. Harold Griswold, a psychologist and author of Direct Decision Therapy, said something. He says, when someone says, I can't change, some part of them wants to change, but the payoffs for his present behavior.
Yeah, this was just, oh, I never shut the filter off. Alright, alright.
Or his fear of change.
Go back, shut the filter off, make it actually black and white.
Ladies and gentlemen, it takes courage to live your dreams. It takes courage to manifest your greatness. It takes courage to decide to live, to decide to bring out all of your talents and abilities, to decide to stretch out, to decide to take a chance. It takes courage to be happy, just to be you. I saw a friend who I hadn't seen for a long time. Her whole personality has changed.
And this is Connie. This is such a fun wedding.
But because
Connie, Constance, were both at the wedding. But she was always super happy. Matt was always super cool. Their friends were super cool. Like, just the whole wedding, like, the whole day was awesome. The whole experience from the engagement all the way through to the wedding was just fantastic. Always smiling, always laughing. No matter what happened. Nothing really happened, but no matter what issues anybody brought up, it all just, it was a good day.
Looking at the word courage, Webster says the attitude of facing and dealing
this
with
one,
anything
we have several.
dangerous, difficult, or painful.
I chose this guy.
From it. As you begin to look at where you want to go and take personal inventory, it's going to be very uncomfortable. That's why most people don't do it. It's very painful to admit your
They're all about the same, except for these. I'll do one. This one can go away.
It's easier to withdraw from that and just ignore it. He goes on to say the courage of one's convictions, the courage to do what one thinks is right.
I don't know why it's so slow.
As you begin to look at yourself and look at where you want to go with your life, it's very important for you to ask yourself a question as you look at various areas of your life. Is what you are doing right now, is it giving you what you want? If it's not giving you
I'm going to pick one of these and
it's going to take courage to decide to do something differently.
Do this. It's kind of crazy that, because this was in August, middle of August, so I probably edited towards the end of August, the original set, into September to deliver that set. I don't remember, it might have even been late September. No, it couldn't have been late December. It was before I left. It was before the end of September. But it's crazy that just between now and then, how much my editing style has changed. I do things differently now. My processes are different. My crops are different. My textures, not textures, tones are a little different. I don't know, it's just crazy to me that in a short amount of time, we change that much. But we do.
People go through life many times playing it safe. He says that's the secret hope, that they say to themselves, if I never let myself feel too good, maybe I'll never get hurt too badly. A lot of people don't ever do the things they're capable of doing because
we were doing a first look at this wedding. So that means we kind of had to keep her hidden.
And they find themselves in relationships with people who are addicted to mediocrity, and they allow
it's so orange. What does auto do? Makes it very blue and purple.
Many people don't do it because of the fact that they allow their lack of self-confidence to immobilize them. I remember when I wanted to go into business for years, that was an agonizing thought in my mind. I wouldn't try it because I didn't believe that I could make it. Of the 5 things that you would like to do if you had the courage to do, I want you to pick one thing. Pick one. And here's how to set it up for yourself.
Sure.
That will help free you and get you unstuck.
Just checking. Oh,
do
let's see.
What's the worst thing that can
This
happen? Let's
is,
say
I'm
going
going to
into
make a
business for
new
yourself,
one
or
for just
changing
the
careers,
face.
or getting a divorce.
And
Taking some
reduce
kind of chance of something that you've always thought about
contrast,
doing, but you just
and
haven't done it for whatever
clarity,
reason. What's the worst
kind of
thing that can
soften up
happen? Do the worst case scenario.
face, bring out the eyes a
When
little.
you do the worst case scenario, you write those things down. The worst thing that you
like
fear would happen when you name your fears that puts you in control. What are you afraid of? Name it, write it out so you can look at it, confront that fear. What is it? I'm afraid that things might work out. What else, Les? Well, I've never been in business, okay? What else, Les? Well, I don't have all the help I need, okay? Good. What else, Les? Well, I don't have enough money, all right? Good. What else, Les? Well, I don't have a college degree. What else? I'm not as good as
I like Les Brown, but
okay,
sometimes he gets a little too excited.
Right now. Okay,
He's just yelling at you.
Now that takes you to the next step.
Just fine. You can yell at me.
What are the benefits of your acting courageously, taking life on? Well, part of what happened was that I felt better within myself, and I had a strong sense of self-respect. Going into business for myself, I made a lot of mistakes. Sometimes I was down on myself. I felt stupid. I felt dumb because people who were in business said, why would you do something like that? Well, I didn't know. Boy, were you really dumb. And I used to chime in with them. Yes, I guess I was. I didn't know any better.
All right.
But the other thing is, I had to say to myself, but I did it.
So.
I did, even if I made a flop of it, I did it.
Like that a little better.
I took the chance. I took the leap. What are the benefits?
Because I look at these like this one here is a 3-star, which means I've already edited it. It's been sharpened. It's gone through the whole gamut. I'm actually going to revisit the 3 stars.
Focus on the benefits. That which you
just make sure.
Tends to manifest itself. Think about how good
yeah, you know what? I'm not going to mess with 3 stars. They're already loaded up. They've already downloaded. I'm not going to mess with it.
That you'll feel how good you feel getting up in the morning, looking yourself in the mirror, because you're taking life.
I think we are finally out of that room, which is good. Though the barn also quite yellow. This wood, this is what that wood looks like in the daylight. Like completely. I
believe anybody who's ever done anything, who's ever taken a chance, doesn't mean
yellow.
That they are not afraid. Courageous does not mean being the absence of fear. I think that being courageous is willing to do it because that's what you feel, and you're going to do it anyhow, regardless. So you're not going to be immobilized by your fears or your doubts. You admit, okay, I'm scared to death. Now, okay, what is it that I must choose to do? Go ahead and experience that fear.
Try to do some bulk edits, because that would speed things along.
In what you've done with your life thus far, is it giving you what you want? Is it giving you what you want? When you look toward the future, when you look at all that's going on out here, is there some place within yourself you say, hey, I know I need to be out there in that arena. I know I can do more than what I've been doing. I know there's some great music that I have within me that I haven't brought out here yet. Is that something that you begin to look at within yourself? So I used to do that, and I used to go to big rallies and see guys up speaking when I wasn't courageous enough to go out there and say, hey, my name is Les Brown, the motivator, Mamie Brown's boy. I want to talk. I would never do that. I'd just be back there looking at them and wanting to get their autograph and would say, can I meet you, Mr. Wakely, or can I meet Mr. Zig Ziglar? Please tell him, who are you?
I think it actually worked.
Because I felt within myself I was a nobody. So who am I to go talk to these guys and go get their autographs? I like to do what you do.
This is also one of the first weddings that I did video on. I've got a ton of video footage from this wedding that I need to make a
that they're unhappy.
need to make a video on.
You're
But I got
doing something
tons.
8 hours a day that
Tons
you
and
don't
tons and
like, it's not
tons.
giving you what you
That's
want,
good.
it's not giving you
That'd be
a
fun.
strong feeling of
But I wanted to
satisfaction and
finish,
fulfillment.
obviously,
You're miserable,
all
you
of the
hate to
pictures
go
before
there.
I make the video.
You're depressed just thinking about it. You're saying the thank God it's Friday song every week. It's giving you headaches just thinking about it on Sunday afternoon after the football game goes off. If that's what it is, you owe it to yourself to start strategically working to change direction. See, but you know what most people will do? Most people will resist change. Most people will fight change as if change would be worse than what they're experiencing. See, they know this. They're familiar with this. Most people
Oh, there we go. We can get rid of that guy.
the unknown. They won't just step out there. See, there's certain things.
So that one, slightly blurry. We're going to nix that. Next one is, excuse me, crystal clear.
As you begin to look toward the future, begin to know that whatever it takes for you to create that, you've got that in you. You've got that. You've got genius in you. You've got goodness in you. You've got creativeness in you. If you decide to take the initiative to change the current quality of your life, I say to you that you will find that the universe is on your side, that life is on your side. Now, will it be turbulent?
Those
Yes.
look pretty much identical.
No. Will you have some
We're going to turn one
Yes. Will I make a lot of
black and
mistakes?
white.
Yes. Will I get hurt? Yes. Yes. See, a lot of people won't try anything different in life because they don't want to get hurt. Let me tell you something. It's too much pain to duck. Pain is everywhere. You can hide under here. It will come where you are. Really, if I go back here, pain will come. Hey, Les, come on out.
I think I'm going to have to restart my computer because it is been on for a few days. I've edited a few videos. I've just used all the cache, all the memory, all the everything. It's just beneficial to restart every now and again.
The pain of failure, the pain of being criticized, the pain of not being liked, the pain. That's called life. Life is full of pain. It's everywhere. But guess what? There's no gain without pain. Now, if you're going to hurt anyhow, get some yardage out of it.
See right there. Boom, got my phone set up. We got this angle.
Because it's the pain of regret.
It's kind of a cool video. Like it's set up kind of perfect. And then I had another person with an actual camera recording from the outside in, and then my second was inside. You just saw in that last one, she was taking pictures from inside the barn to the outside.
She still experienced pain. She was trying not to experience the pain of defeat, the pain of disappointment, the pain of loss, the pain of lack of support, and she still experienced pain. It was right there. We can't get around it.
I think this, out of all of the venues I've shot, this venue is probably my favorite venue for several reasons, but one of them being this was the venue of my very first solo wedding. So this venue kind of didn't really make me decide to pursue it, but it definitely, because this venue was so cool and because the owners are so awesome, that it just became, it just added to the confidence that I could do this.
You're not college material, Mr. Brown. You're not as smart as your brother Wesley or your sister Margaret Ann. You're not college material. Why don't
I may
you
have
try
just
and get your job
paused
at
it.
the post office?
Oh. Alrighty then.
Something with your hand, or go down to the Miami City.
A little bit of crying. There were a lot of tears at this wedding. He cried, she cried, friends cried, parents cried. Everybody cried, which is awesome.
Anybody fail the Army test, you're really in trouble. So I went down to the sanitation department to try and get a job. Because that's what I
Oh, see this and this. Now these probably gonna have to be black and white.
Look at your life.
Because that's really...
What would your life be like? What would your life look like if you decided not to care what people thought of you? What would your life
It's hard to shoot that. You're shooting from inside a dark barn to full-blown midday sunlight.
You decided to become courageous.
No flash.
What would your life be like?
Not sure why there was no flash, but there was no flash.
You did what you felt in your heart. You know what courageous means? Tom Ruskin and Randy Reed said. They said that courage comes from a French word which means of the heart. How does it feel to you? He says it's courage, you know, it takes courage to live. Says most people go through life not allowing themselves to step out because they don't want to let go. They don't want to be blown around. They don't want to be moved. The courage to face life's whirling wind of contradictions. The courage to love yourself. The courage to love. For years, I was afraid to love. The courage to take a chance. The courage to be who you are. He says courage isn't for somebody else, for medals, applause, or moral debts. Courage is what at that moment feels most right for you. Not just situational ethics, but what feels right in your heart, the word of the heart, what feels right in your heart. One great philosopher says, cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. What does that mean? The valiant people aren't afraid? No, no, no. It means that they experience that fear and they move forward. They move forward anyhow. Many people are dead now. Many people are allowing their dreams to die. Many people are allowing their ideas to lie dormant and collect dust. Many people have all this talent and ability that they are allowing to be buried inside of them, that they will take with them to their graves because they didn't have the courage to be who they are. And I say, as you begin to look toward the future and manifesting your greatness, it's going to take everything in you, that your life deserves the concentrated effort to begin to look at how is it that I can express more of me? How is it that I can bring my ideas out here now? How is it? And start living with a sense of urgency, because you're here today. You're gone today. Life is unpredictable. It's uncertain. There are no guarantees. No guarantees out here at all. So holding back, what are you waiting on? Ask yourself, what's the benefit of your waiting? What's the benefit of your not living your dream? What's the benefit of not listening to yourself? Oh, please, listen to yourself. You know the feelings. If you start listening to the feelings in your heart, and I'm doing it now more every day, I find that my feelings, I can trust them. And I say to you that as you look toward the future, you look at life on a daily basis, if there's something that you have been given, if you've heard something within yourself that you know that what you're doing now doesn't fit for you, it doesn't work for you, it's not giving you what you want, and there's something else that you want to do, don't allow that inner doubt in you to talk you out of it, to build a case on why you can't have it, to tell you why you're not good enough. You ignore that inner voice and all of the external voices. Don't judge the possibilities for what you can do based upon the circumstances, because the circumstances won't determine who you are. Don't determine what you're able to do based upon your resources. Don't determine what's possible for you based upon where your life is right now. Where your life is right now is not you. That's just what it is right now. But the possibilities for you are unlimited. If you're in a rebuilding process, it's unlimited. If you're coming back from adversity and devastation,
so I'm pretty sure
of what you can do. That's the capacity of
Pretty
human beings.
sure I'm
Doesn't matter how
going
many
to
mistakes you've
restart
made. Doesn't matter how many
the
flops you've had.
computer.
Doesn't matter how much money you've lost. In fact, I see it only as an investment of what you learn from life, not losses, but investments of what's possible for you. And I say to you that once you start listening to yourself, and as you begin to act on your dream, as you start just trying to find your way, doing what you can with what you have, you will start seeing things opening up for you. You'll start attracting people. You say, where'd they come from? Things will start coming together, clicking for you. You say, whoa. You start brainstorming. Ideas will come out of nowhere as you focus on it. The key to it is to begin to focus on what it is you want to do. Why, Les? Why is that important? Because as you focus on that which you want to do, that which we focus on, that which we give our energy to, it will begin to multiply. It will begin to expand. It will begin to develop your consciousness. And out of that comes your greatness. Out of that comes a commitment. Out of that comes a passion for life. Out of that comes a special power that you have in you that you haven't even called on yet. See, the powers that we have will never reveal themselves if we don't challenge them, if we don't put ourselves in a position where we have to use them. So one of the most important things is reading a book that's a really interesting book called Instant Millionaire, and the guy said, put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what
I'm gonna finish this set, and then I'm gonna stop the live stream and go restart my computer because it needs it really badly.
You'll become more creative than ever before. So what is it? How do we handle that whole piece? Throw your whole self into it. See, most people go at it tentatively. They don't give all their stuff. They don't concentrate. They don't put everything they've got in them. One guy wrote a book called All You Can Do is All You Can Do. And all you can do is enough. But he said, make sure you do all you can do. And if we're honest this evening, we know that we haven't done all we can do. So as we look at the future, we can decide that from this day forward, as I look at my personal relationships, if I look at my professional relationships, if I look at my family relationships, as I look at all the dimensions of my life, looking at myself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I'm going to do all I can do to develop me, to bring my talent out here, to make a contribution to life.
Figure out who you are, and the way that you do that is you tune out the world and you tune in here. Yeah, you got to go read. You got to go read. You got to watch a ton of videos. You got to tune into this show every week. You've got to explore. You've got to experience. You got to fail. But then you've always got to calibrate it against what are your instincts saying? What energizes you? What depletes you?
I thought it was an ad. It's actually the video.
Follow the things that energize you. Follow the things that you're naturally curious about. You are not
Oh.
unique. I think you're a bloody miracle.
Go
The fact
back.
that you were born who you were born.
And it's all selected. Okay.
Each day sets up the way you live each day. I mean, the Spartan warriors said it so well. Sweat more in training, bleed less in war. And if you want to be literally undefeatable in business, literally unstoppable in life, you really want to dial in your morning routine. And so you want to do things like starting the day sweating, because that releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, that repairs brain cells from stress. You want to sweat because that's going to increase your metabolic rate, which is going to give you energy. And we live in a world where energy is even more valuable than intelligence. You want to, in your morning routine, take the time to write in a journal so you actually can detect your values, reconnect with your goals each day, because awareness is the beginning of transformation.
Makes sense. My morning routine is horrible. Horrible.
It's not what you
And
do
should change it
every year that
by
is going to allow
a
you
lot.
to live a legendary life. It's what you do every single day.
Whatever your goal or dream is, my friend, you need other people to know about that dream. They should know what you're trying to accomplish, why you're trying to accomplish, how you're trying to accomplish it, when you're trying to accomplish it, and exactly what you are willing to do to accomplish it.
One of the things that we have to do as we're pursuing our dreams and our goals is that we have to know that failure is not an option. You know, and you got to hear this one. This one is important because you got to tell yourself, despite again the circumstances and situations, you have to tell yourself that, listen to me, I'm not going anywhere.
Excuse me.
Like until I make my
That
dreams
Red
come
Bull
true, I'm not quitting. I don't care how much money I have to invest. I don't care how much
doesn't
time
give
I
you
have to
wings,
invest.
gives
I'm
you
gonna continue to do
gas.
this until I become successful.
The number one thing that's going to change your life, the only thing that will change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship, is you must raise your standard.
We become our standards in many ways. If you are surrounded by B players or average performers, and that is your standard, then your mindset will operate at the standard that
They're so close
that is
to
offered
the same
people
thing
around you.
that it does not matter.
Let's talk about the science of productivity and high
Doesn't matter.
performance. Why is it that sometimes you feel like you get so much done and you're able to like knock off your to-do list and accomplish so much consistently, and other times you're struggling to stay even focused? Why is it that some people, any situation you seem to put them in, they just win, while others just, they keep struggling and struggling and struggling to get ahead, and they're not sure why? Well, all those topics are the topics of what we call high performance, which is essentially how do you succeed over the long term while still maintaining your health and your sanity, while still maintaining your ability to stay on purpose, while still maintaining your general happiness about life. Now, a lot of people think that what happens is that there are some superhuman people who are just high performing all the time, and because they're type A or extroverted, they achieve more than everybody else. But that's actually not the case. So I'm going to share with you what we learned from one of the world's largest studies of high performers ever done, and I'll share with you the 3 things you need as personal habits to start achieving high performance in your own life, whether that's your career or your personal life or your health or just your ability to get ahead. Now, these 3 strategies, they come from my book, High Performance Habits, How Extraordinary People Become That Way, and we're giving the book away today for free. I'll get back to that in a moment, but I want to tell you about those 3 habits, because it's not as if just some personalities get ahead, right? You think, oh, well, maybe she gets ahead because she's got the perfect personality, or sure, he can do it because he's like this. But listen, what we found, again, from one of the world's largest studies on high performers is it's not that specific personalities get ahead over the long term, it's that people with specific practices get ahead. And it's not that some people get ahead
3
because they have
more,
hacks
and then I
that
can
you're not
restart.
doing that they learned on some blog or
And
podcast.
hopefully
It's not about hacks.
speed my computer
It's
up.
about habits. Clearly, I'm passionate about this book, and people say, why? Or they say, who the heck are you, Brendan? But look, 21 years ago, I had a car accident that made me want to live a different quality of life. I was an unhappy kid. I'd come out of a bad relationship. My heart was broken. And I kind of wanted to start my life over again, but I didn't want to live the same quality of life. So I started looking for what was the edge. Like, what is it that made successful people successful? And why is it that some people can change and some people can't? Why is it some people seem to get so much done and others don't? Why is it that some people get that when they start achieving things, they start influencing other people in positive ways? And I studied that for the last 20 years. And now I've been blessed to work with, network, coach, advise, or train some of the world's most influential people, whether meeting or networking with the US presidents or, working with billionaires, media moguls, people who really move the needle of the world. And I gained insights from what they're doing. And then we ran the world's largest study on high performers to really break it down for you exactly what you need to be doing to get ahead. I'm sure you've heard that phrase, change your habits, change your life. But which habits? Which habits really move the needle and have been shown through science to actually lead to long-term success? Well, that's the study we conducted. That's what I talk about in my book, High Performance. 3
Really,
habits that make the
really
most difference.
such a good
And that
picture,
first
but it's
habit is
also
seeking
horrible.
clarity. Now, notice I didn't say get
Flowers are in
clarity. A lot of
focus.
people have this assumption that one day You just wake up and you walk outside and the piano of purpose falls on you and you know what you're supposed to do with the rest
That's
of your
it.
life.
But
That's not how it really works.
it's such a
It turns out
good
high
job.
performers are just seeking clarity
But it's
more
blurry. Oh, God.
consistently in given situations than their peers.
Can
What this
I?
means is a high
Can I
performer,
turn this
before
in?
they go into the meeting, they're very
is-
intentional about what they want from that meeting. So they ask, what is my intention for this meeting? High performers, before they go work with somebody, they say, what's my
Dang it.
intention to work with this person? In other words, they go in.
This is.
with a goal,
I was grabbing my.
with a plan,
Excuse me.
and
I was
they
grabbing
do
my
that
flash.
but you know,
This is actually my second shooter's picture.
and that's why so
But
many
as you can
potentially great
see, it's
people fail to
incredibly
realize
out of
their real
focus.
potential because they're not doing the fundamental habits that would make the difference. Because, you know, especially if you're good and you got some sort of wind at your back or some successes or you know what you're doing, it's easy to just go through the motions without taking 1 second before that phone call or that meeting.
Doesn't have a lot of
that thing that
noise.
you're trying to do and asking yourself, what's really important to me in this situation?
I don't know if I
What
should.
really
I'm gonna leave it
matters
for now, but
what is it specifically I want to accomplish here? Who needs me to do a great job here? What will bring me the greatest amount of joy and fulfillment in my life? These types of questions high performers ask themselves, and not just at New Year's, not just when they change jobs, or not just when they have, like, you know, a midlife crisis. They're asking
All right.
themselves daily questions that
That's
we
that.
really sort of
That's
codify into
kind
this
of-
habit of seeking clarity. That's the first habit, seek clarity. The second habit is to generate energy. High performers have determined the feelings they want to experience in their daily life. And then they cultivate those feelings and emotions versus waiting to maybe one day feel that way. And you know this too, right? Some people keep saying, oh, I'll be happy one day. Or one day when this happens, I'll finally feel good. But high performers say, no, 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 what do I want to feel? And they generate that feeling and then they serve, right? I always say the power plant doesn't have energy, it generates energy. Like, we don't have sadness, we don't have happiness, we don't have any type of human feeling or emotion that endures over the long term unless we are defining or setting meanings to things that produce those feelings. Well, if that's true, then we can also set meanings and set intentions to generate the types of energy we want. Also, in generating energy, high performers have proven that they generate more energy emotionally, mentally, and physically than other people. And that physical component is really important to high performance, right? We found out that the top 15% of all high performers worldwide, and our study collected information from over 190 countries worldwide, the top 15% of high performers are 40% more likely to work out 5 times per week than everybody else. So if you want to get ahead, you got to take care of the temple, right? You got to take care of your mind, your emotions, and your body so that you can live in the energy in which you really want to experience in life. Stop waiting to feel how you want to feel and start generating that. I talk a lot about that in my book. And then the third personal habit is to raise performance necessity. Now, this is kind of like a mindset trick. And that is that high performers, before they go into any situation where they step onto the field or they go into the meeting, they, in their mind, raise the necessity for them to do well. In other words, they don't say, well, I hope I do well. They say, I must do well. It's not like a preference to succeed. In their identity, in how they think about what their purpose is, they have said to themselves, I am somebody who is going to do extraordinary in this situation. I'm a person of excellence. I'm a person who cares about high standards. I'm a person who's going to deliver. I'm a person who's going to serve. And that identity of the high performer really shapes their ability to get things done. And so the habit is called raising performance necessity, or we just say raising necessity. Why is it necessary for you to succeed at the next level? I mean, who needs you right now? Does your family need you to succeed at the next level? Does your team? Does your bank account? Does your soul? Like, what is it about now that is necessary for you to succeed? And high performers are so connected to that. That's why they have such a feeling of sense of drive and purpose and urgency. But all those things are part of what we call the high performance mindset. It's not easy always to get because many people succeed to their level Like you're at your level right now based on what you already know and what you feel and what you do and how you interact with people. To go to a new level, to achieve high performance at that next level, sometimes you just need more training. So that's why today I'm giving away copies of my book, High Performance Habits.
Must be an ad. Oh, this is the ad. I was like, this does not fit the, does not fit what I'm used to when I'm watching these videos. Turns out it was an ad. Dude's selling a book.
Has a list of things they think they should do. I should lose weight. I should work out. I should spend more time with my kids. I should work harder. I should make more calls. I should. What changes people is when your should becomes a must. When suddenly the thing you said should happen has to happen. That's when human beings change.
To have the results of a game changer, you need to start thinking and behaving like a game changer. And that means thinking like a game changer, populating your mindset with the best books, with the best ideas, with the best conversations, behaving in ways that most people don't behave. Again, you want to have the results very few people have, you've got to start doing things that very few people do. Turn off the television, delete the naysayers, stop gossiping and start producing, eat better food, run longer runs, shift from a focus on what's not working to a focus on what's working. I mean, you really want to install a whole new series of mindsets and a whole new series of rituals that very few people are doing.
Ideas that will determine the shape and substance of our tomorrows.
You will receive from the world who you become. But the doorway to success, I suggest to you, swings inward, not outward. And the best way to have a game-changing life, and the best way to have a world-class lifestyle, and the best way to change the world is to change yourself. I mean, we get from life who we become.
I know I said I'd stop, but then I started the next set, and then coming up, we're outside and we're at the first look location. So
have things we want.
I am moving forward to that.
We get what we have to have.
And then
No longer willing to tolerate something.
that smile.
Life changes.
As soon as a person begins to change, his or her surroundings will change.
A little scary, but a lot happy.
This great attitude, great results.
Actually, not scary. Not scary.
Fair or average attitude, fair or average results. Poor attitude, poor results. When you begin to develop a better attitude, you should realize that you've already placed yourself in the top 5% of the people, the most successful people on earth. You've placed yourself on the road to what you need.
Okay. I definitely need to go restart this because it's really getting to me.
Commit to your vision and be the CEO of your future.
Narrow your focus to one idea, one, and make it work. That will give birth to all the others.
Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started.
No idea works unless you have the courage to do the work. Ideation without execution is delusion.
I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's what I cared about. I cared about solving problems, being successful. Anytime an obstacle presented itself, I used it to my advantage and made it work.
In the end, luck plays a very important part in how successful you are, but the harder you work and the longer you work, the luckier you're going to be.
Develop the habits. You've got the brain power, you've got the energy, but develop the habits of success.
I've always thought that each person invented himself for whatever reasons, through whatever circumstance, through whatever he has gone through, that we are each a figment of our own imagination.
If you feel you have something to give, if you feel that your particular talent is worth developing, is worth caring for, then there's nothing you can't achieve.
Don't allow anyone to tell you that what you are dreaming for yourself and your family is not possible. It is possible.
All right.
So just go and do it, try, learn from it. You'll fail at some things. That's a learning experience that you need so that you can take that on.
So there's
and don't let people who
nobody watching.
Respect and who
Which is
you believe know what
good.
they're talking about. Don't let them tell you it can't be done, because often they will tell you it can't be done, and it's just because they don't have the courage to try it.
I just did a podcast on habits.
Nobody's watching. Nobody's watching. I'm gonna go restart my computer,
And so a lot of
and then I'll be back.
usually make a change on behavior. They want to get themselves to work out. They want to get